Dear friends, welcome to Civil Conclave presentations. Today we are going to discuss about standard operating procedures for the execution of the project. This is a part 2 which is in continuation with my earlier presentation of part 1. See, layout of the drawings. Receive the tender drawings, layout marking, receive value for construction, good for construction drawings. There is a drawing register has to be mentioned. Okay. Changes in the drawings. Layout of drawings. Layout marking and receive VFC/GFC drawings for starting the project work. Receive the tender drawings. Receive the tender drawings from the tender department to have the initial study of the project. Layout marking. A reference point should be given by the client for doing the layout. Drawing of the same shall be provided by the client. Follow-up for receiving the drawing to be done by the execution department consists of project manager, survey department, planning engineer, etc. Layout marking should be checked by the client or a client representative. Final approval for the layout marking shall be taken on paper from the client. Receive the good for construction drawings. Receive the good for the construction drawing from the client. Study the same for the execution. Drawing shall be received by the QS department or the project manager. A detailed drawing register has to be maintained at the site. These drawings to be received in 4 copies, out of which one will be remain with the QS department, one will be for a project manager, one for a site engineers, and one for the contractors for execution of the things. Drawings should be studied from the QS department in the point of contract view with respect to tender drawings. Any difference shall be brought to the notice of the project manager. Also, drawings should be studied in detail for any discrepancies. Discrepancy can be pointed out by the engineers. Changes in the drawings. If there is any discrepancies in the drawing, the same should be brought to the project manager notice. Architectural drawing and structural drawing has to be studied in depth to find out any discrepancies or changes. Any discrepancies, changes has to be communicated to the client through RFI, that means the request for information, and a proper clearance has to be obtained before execution. Drawing register. A detailed drawing register should be maintained by the QS department, which should be updated regularly. Resources management. Requirement of resources, daily activities, which is the RMC requirement, material issues, etc. etc. Resource management. Resources has to be managed properly from day 1 to avoid underutilization and overstress due to the delay. Requirement of resources. All the resources should be managed as a schedule. Plan of the project will be in place before the start of the project. Main emphasis should be given on the material management. When the initial plan has been ready, tentative quantity of the material has to be drawn and has to be intimated to the purchase department, which will be do to the due follow-up from the site stores. Regarding day-to-day execution, site engineer shall work out the resources for doing the work on the next day, and for which he is the responsible person. Daily activities. Daily activities shall be planned by the engineer, and the required resources has to be listed out. Material issue. Material requirement has to be prepared by the site engineer and sent to the store for a proper channel. The material requisition shall be approved by the project manager. Requisition has to have the following signatories: such as engineer in charge, planning engineer, project manager, etc. Execution. Finalize the schedule, quantity calculation, daily activities and review. Execution. Actual execution of the project. Finalize the schedule. Planning department from the HO in coordination with the project manager prepare a planning schedule for the entire project. Client's approval has to be obtained for the master construction plan. Internal schedule shall be prepared for actual execution of the project to meet the timelines. This schedule has to be passed on to the site engineer so that he will prepare a day-to-day program and execute it. Quantity calculation. Quantity calculation has to be done by the QS and the site in charges. This quantity has to be cross-checked by the project manager and other senior officials. Daily activities. Day-to-day activities has to be carried out for actual execution by the executor. Review. Review of work has to be taken up weekly by the project manager prior to the client review meeting. Review shall be done against the internal schedule as well as the schedule submitted to the client. Progress review shall be done and the reasons for the delay, if any, shall be sorted out and corrective steps has to be taken for the things. Resources required by the site engineer has to be discussed. For review meeting with the client, the points discussed should be documented properly and minuted regularly. If any corrective steps have been taken, the responsibility should be fixed and then review of the same shall be taken again for the meeting. Daily activities. Micro level planning, arrange for resources, get the work done, raise RFI, get it approval, post approval works, maintain, update records, make a DPR. Daily activities. Day-to-day activities carried out for actual execution by the executor. Micro level planning for actual execution. Plan for actual execution should be prepared by the site engineer along with the supervisors. Arrange of resources. The executor shall confirm all the resources required for carrying out the work has been available a day before on the site. Get the work done. It is the responsibility of the executor to get the work done properly from the laborers provided to him. In case any extra item required, then the same shall be communicated to the site in charge or project manager. Executor has to ensure that a good quality workmanship, speedy work, minimum wastages and the safety of the workers has to be taken care of. Raise RFI. In case of concrete and other works which requires approval from the client, the engineer has to raise the RFI, which means request for information inspection, shall be raised to inform client about the completion and requesting inspection for approval. Get approval. Once RFI is raised, QA/QC in charge shall coordinate with the clients and get it checked by them and get it the approval from the same. Post approval works. Once the approval works were obtained, post approval work shall be continued, such as concreting, etc. Maintain, update plant and machinery data. If any equipment is being used on the particular location, proper site engineer has to maintain the records such as logbook and everything for the plant and machinery. Prepare DPR. At the end of the day, the executor has to prepare the DPR and submit to the project manager. Quality assurance and the quality control. Getting specification from the project, quality plan, that is a quality plan, construction problems, working methodology, laboratory setup, outsource testing, checklist and checklist, etc. Getting specification for the project. Specification of the project has to be obtained from the tender department for verifying the tender specification. Quality plan and understanding this. Quality plan has to be prepared by the project and the same should be submitted to the client for approval. Quality plan should be based on the specification mentioned in the tender documents. Laboratory setup. There shall be some mandatory test has to be carried out at the site. So the site has to set up a laboratory with the equipments, foundations, etc. as mentioned in the contract document. Outsource testing. Some tests has to be carried out externally, such as steel, cement, etc. These tests shall be carried out in the laboratories recommended by the client and which has been mutually agreed. Checklist. Checklist has to be prepared for all the activities. The same should be signed by the site engineer, client representative, and all these records has to be maintained at the site. Once the project has finished, these documents sent to HO for a documentation. Working methodology. Working methodology of the subcontractor has to be finalized. A copy of the same has to be given to site engineer so that they can understand the working methodology and execute the same. Construction problems. Solution to any construction problem that would arise at construction site shall be worked out by the QA/QC engineer. For this, there should be a QA/QC engineer who has had a well conversation with all the QA/QC methodology. Hindrances. All the hindrances has to be recorded. Recording hindrances. Hindrances shall be internal and external, which would obstruct the hamper the work. Hindrance of the work could be due to the decisions pending from the client side, or there is a stoppage or slowdown of the work due to the subcontractors. All type of the hindrances has to be recorded, and if there is any delay due to the hindrances by the client and everything, it should be properly recorded and informed to the client for if there is any claims has to be raised in the future. Claims. Any hindrances on the client side, that means pending decision, etc., which delays the project, has to be recorded properly. Due to the delay, the project team has to make a claim, and this project manager has to inform the HO for extra budgeting due to the delay, etc. Claims should be lodged, discussed, and informed to the client in writing. All claims regarding to the claims shall be sent to the HO for an approval, and then the same has to be submitted to the client. MIS report will be sent from the project site to the HO. Report sent through the planning shall be covered in planning. Report shall be a comprehensive report which covers all the test results, percentage of success, failed tests, etc. If there is a major failure in test, QA/QC department to be directed to find the reason and take a corrective action. Activity report would comprise the accident cost and the reasons for it and the action taken against it. Extra item. Identify the extra item, correspondences, rate analysis, approve from the client, and the execution. Identification of the extra item. Extra item should be identified the QS along with the project manager. Correspondence and approval. Extra items has to be communicated to the client by the project manager and get it approval for a further proceedings. Rate analysis. Rate analysis for extra item shall be done by the QS under the guidelines of the project manager. Approval from the client. Approval of the rate analysis has to be obtained from the client. Any queries regarding the rate analysis has to be solved satisfactorily. Execution. Execution of the extra items shall be carried out only after getting a written approval from the client. Site handover, checklist, inspection, and then handing over. Inspection. The work executed at project site shall be inspected in accordance with the checklist prepared at the site. Checklist shall be signed by both the parties, such as a client and the contractor. These checklists form the formal handing over of the project. Handing over. The checklist signed by the both the parties with the remark and accepted shall be form a integral part of the handing over of the documents. Completion of the project. Site handing over, completion certificate, defect liability period, retention money, demobilization. Completion certificate. Once the handing over document has been signed by both the parties, formal completion certificate has to be taken from the client, which is the responsibility of the project manager. Defect liability period. Defect liability period start once the completion certificate obtained from the client. Services for repairs shall be given to the client in the defect liability period as mentioned in the tender document. Retention money. Retention money of the company shall be retrieved from the client after successful completion of the defect liability period. The same way, if there is a contractor's retention money, it has to be checked for the quality and everything. Then the retention money can be released. Demobilization. Demobilization of the site to be done after having discussion and approval of site as and when the work is completed. Maintain a subcontractor database. Okay. Introduction of a new contractor. If there is any new contractor has to be appointed, all the details of the subcontractor's capabilities and etc. has to be submitted to the HO, and a formal approval has to be obtained before appointing him at the site. Updation of database. Subcontractor database shall be updated twice a year. Subcontractor grades will be verified based on the performances. This is the end of the project. Thank you for watching this presentation. Kindly subscribe, like and share, which will motivate me for a further good presentation. In case of any queries, do not hesitate to write to me. The response shall be at the earliest. You can contact me civilconclave@gmail.com or at my Telegram group, Civil Conclave Telegram group. The link has been provided as follows. Thank you for watching this